All right. We got Kimberly Kline,
Yeah.
F&I Manager Extraordinaire.
Former.
It's almost
Former.
like we've done this twice
Yeah,
today. I don't
yeah,
know. Something's
yeah.
good. Papa
So
Shefska,
weird.
Yeah.
Sales
Papa
Manager
Shefska.
Extraordinaire.
Former and delightfully so.
Yeah, I think you guys are both happy to be
Delightfully
out
so.
of the dealership.
Yeah.
We're going to talk
Yeah,
about today
for sure.
the interview. We're going to put on our movie critic hats. And
Yeah.
We're going to talk about. Well,
I
actually,
love that movie.
Yeah.
It's a good-
Siskel and Ebert. I'll be the fat one.
That went way over my head because I have no clue what my dad just said. We're not actually going to review a movie.
No.
We're going to talk about the interview that the F&I manager does to help
Yes.
them sell more product
Oh,
in
Yes.
the F&I office.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
That interview.
That interview.
Yeah.
So I'll hand it off to Kimberly in a second here.
Yeah.
But there's two sales processes, yeah, that happen at the dealership. The
Yeah.
front end and the back end. The front
Yes.
end, you're negotiating with the salesperson, and then the sales manager, someone like my dad. And then Kimberly, there's the back end, the second sales process, and, well, the interview. So what is it?
Yeah. What, Kimberly? What's the interview?
Pops,
The
your whole face
interview.
is, like, covered by a mic, dude.
So?
Well,
Probably
okay.
make me look better.
Go ahead, Kimberly, sorry.
We have too much fun. We're going to break the internet.
Yes,
All
we're
right,
trying.
so the interview. All right, so here's what happens. You go into the dealership and you've agreed on your car. You're really excited. You're sitting there with the sales manager and another person comes out to greet you and says, "Hey, my name is Kimberly. I'm your finance manager and I'm just here to verify some information with you." So this interview is going to have some questions, but there is a reason for the certain questions. Questions like, how long do you typically keep your car? Or how many miles do you usually drive a year? Or things maybe like, what do you do on the weekends? Do you take the kids out camping? Or where do you house your car? Is it parked on the street or is it in a garage typically? And all of these questions, while they sound nice and talkative, are actually for the purpose of tailoring a menu towards the customer so that when you go into the finance office, I have already pulled up a VSC or a vehicle service contract that fits your needs because of the interview.
Now, when you use the term menu, a lot of our customers won't understand. A lot of our viewers won't understand what that means. So when you say menu, if I remember from my years in the car business, what you're talking about is actually the products and the way you're going to present those products to the customer when they eventually do make it into your office. Is that correct?
That is correct, Ray. So the menu, it may be on an iPad or it might just be a sheet of paper, will have all the products that are available listed on it, and the finance manager will go over all of those with you.
I'm sure
But,
everyone
yeah.
saw me like about to interject, and you even saw me. You watch all of our YouTube videos, Dad. We have a whole video that Kimberly did about the menu. That's where you got to be like, Kimberly, remember when we did the menu
I
video?
understand that, but I
Remember?
also seen our comments from customers. They go, well, you
Viewers.
use terms like menu.
Viewers.
It's an inside term. I don't understand what that means.
But that's where you
Right.
do the point in the right corner where none of us actually know where the...
Someday, Kimberly, I'm going to learn how this stuff works. I might be dead when I do, but I promise to learn before I go.
You got it, Ray. You got it. But when you learn, let me know too. Okay?
Okie doke.
So, Kimberly, when does this interview actually take place? Is it once, like, someone like my dad finished, negotiating the car deal with the customer, or do you come out even sooner? And how do you have enough time in the day to actually, like, interview everyone? Because I get it conceptually as a sales tactic, but I guess I'm just curious when it happens and how often you were actually able to do it.
It is after I get the file folder from the sales manager. So it's after everything is agreed upon and it's time for me to put all the paperwork together. The first thing I do is run out there and talk to the customer. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. I personally always, at least I tried 100% of the time, to go out and talk to the customer and do a face-to-face interview. However, I have a lot of friends that are finance managers that never do interviews with the customer. I feel that you've got a third person being thrown at you, the finance manager. So I like to go out and build rapport with that customer first. Whereas other finance managers say that they do really well with it being cold and just having the customer come into the finance office. And also, I recently have heard and found out that many dealerships now have iPads that do the interview for them. So the customer sits there and, answers all the questions on the iPad, and that information is then transferred back to the finance office. That is to help speed the process, because we all know it takes a long time often to get into the finance office.
I know in all the years that I've, I've done this, the best success was when, was when the finance manager would come out and greet the customer at the desk, introducing themselves as, listen, I'm the person that's going to be finishing up all the paperwork with you, and I just want to make sure that all the information I have is correct. So I want to review your name, your address, make sure the spelling is correct, make sure we have the right vehicle, because hopefully, if I do my job correctly with you right now, we'll only be printing all the paperwork one time. and so the idea behind this, folks, is for us to be able to expedite the entire process for you. And then in the middle of that process, you would do what I would call Columbo questions, just in conversation. You would ask questions, and it wouldn't seem like the interrogation.
You got it. That is exactly right. So you kind of want to break the ice with the customer and introduce yourself and go over those things that you said, Ray, like verifying information, name, address, that kind of thing, insurance information. But then come the, they're built. These questions are built to help the finance manager.
So then, Kimberly, I guess one question I have for you is, like, by asking those questions, obviously it helps you build the right menu, but then I imagine you have some ways that you then talk to the customer when they come into your office. And so I'm wondering, if I'm watching this video and, I clicked on it because I want to understand getting into the second sales process and what the heck is this interview thing? Now, what am I going to hear from the F&I manager when I'm sitting across the desk from them?
That's a great question. So now that I have that information and you come into my office and you're very excited you're getting your car, I'm going to start going down through that menu and going through those protection plans, and I'm going to put it back onto you, Mr. Customer, by saying word tracks like, now you told me that you drive 60,000 miles or 20,000 miles a year. Therefore, I have this for you. And since you told me that you don't park your car in the garage, and since you told me that you're only putting X amount of dollars down, so all these things are built for vehicle service contract, these questions are built for gap coverage, every question is built for a coverage. But I put it back onto the customer because you told me those things. But I asked.
Yes, there's certain word tracks. And I know one of the things I used to go over with my sales staff all the time was I would try to explain to them, this is not brain surgery that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's brain massage. It's how we say what we say. And there's certain word tracks that we all would use in order to make it easier for us to gather the information that we need in order for us to accomplish, as a dealership, to accomplish our goals. They might be different than the goals of the customer, but through the proper word tracks, it makes it easier for the customer to say, yeah, I'll take that.
Yes, absolutely. You got it.
Comment down below.
So there is a purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Comment down below if you want us to do a whole separate video on word tracks, where my dad talks about word tracks that the salespeople and sales managers are going to use. Kimberly, you can talk about the word tracks that the F&I manager is going to use. I think that would be a good video, but comment down below, let us know. And then Pops. And Kimberly, I don't know, did you notice, I made an observation today.
Yes.
This cardigan is infamous. Did you know that?
Well, it is my famous old man cardigan.
It's the cardigan from the What Happens to Unsold Cars video that has 1 million views. And I think the shirt underneath potentially could be infamous. Why are you staring at me as you
what's happening?
Your car?
What's happening right now?
Well, I wanted to share with our audience what I think should be a whole segment of what we do, which is called the Knowledge is Power sessions.
I thought you were going to say this is a Christmas miracle.
And I think
bought you a shirt.
All of us should be wearing the Knowledge is Power t-shirt or hoodie. And as you folks can see, Zach finally spent the money to get me the damn shirt.
You know, and
oh, Zach.
let me just share.
I'm so bravo.
I still haven't paid the credit card bill because I've got 30 days. So
the shirt's going back, folks.
Button that back up.
All right, we have way too much fun with this. Kimberly, thank you for your time as always. Pops, thank you as well. That was
Thank
pretty
you,
funny.
guys.
Thank you.
I think this is super helpful, and I
I
really
hope
can't
so.
appreciate can't tell you guys how much I appreciate your willingness to do this. So thanks.
It's our pleasure. Mine, anyway.
We'll see you next time.
See you, Kimberly.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.